Let's see The Legend of Jar-Man.
The year's 2008. The Two Girls One Cup phenomenon had already came and went, but as its image
Yeah, it was ice cream.
faded in the rearview mirror, the internet found itself experiencing a renaissance of online shock videos. It was like the age of Goatsy revisited, but now, with online video becoming so much more accessible, we could take things to the next level. All of a sudden you had stuff like Two Girls One Finger, Three Guys One Hammer, and probably, most infamously, One Guy One
Yeah, it's this video.
Jar, aka One Man One Jar, aka One
Lemon Party.
Guy One
No!
Cup. A hero who shoved an entire glass jar up his ass and broke it for the world to see. But what happened?
Oh my god, if he able to broke this jar just with the pure strength of his ass. Have a nice muscle, man. You love your training a lot.
When he was left both literally and
This jar guy survive? Probably yes.
figuratively
If he be able to say about his history.
to pick up the pieces. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of the Jar Man, Alexei. This video, which is basically guaranteed to be demonetized, is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. This what the Shadow Raid Legends sponsoring.
And once again, thank you to
Okay, whatever who play Raid Shadow Legends, they just sponsoring the video about man just putting jar and he says broken it.
When I was working on this video, I saw a lot of things that made me actually physically squirm.
Yeah, way too proud. But whatever, it's the classic fucking garbage gacha game who just trying to find some whale to bait some whales in their game to they make the big fucking revenue to them.
Which, you know,
They just probably don't give a fuck.
this was with the knowledge that I was working on a One Guy One Jar video. Even with that in mind, I didn't expect to see a lot of that stuff, and obviously I can't show you any of it, but I'll do my best to describe it as the video goes on. But I'm sure that
I see this video. I saw this video.
most of you are already familiar with One Guy One Jar. I mean, it's one of the most requested things for me to make a video about. The story of One Guy One Jar begins on December 3rd of 2008 on efucked.com. I'm sure a great many of you are already familiar with efucked, but if you're not, allow me to give you the cliff notes of the site. efucked has long been a fixture of the internet, and it remains open to this day. Think of it as kinda the circus of internet porn. You'll find things like porn bloopers, wacky gimmick porn, and sometimes really extreme porn. Some examples I saw on the front page while working on this video were Awkward Porn Moments 9, Super Simp Ruins an Orgy, and a deaf girl that's described as the Helen Keller of casual sex. Pretty much everyone that's been around long enough has a story of the craziest thing they saw on efucked at some point over the past several years. And it was on efucked that One Guy One Cup would first reach the masses. You're one click away from witnessing one of the most unsettling things I've ever posted. I'm still trying to figure out if this was intentional or what. Any ordinary human being would have said, "Oh fuck," and then proceeded to scream like a gay couple whose marriage just got revoked. This stuff doesn't even make a peep. I don't get it. I'm sure most of you have seen the video by now, but if you haven't, allow me to describe it. A hairy naked man with a heavily lubed up asshole squats over a glass jar.
Why he need to make the fucking visualization of this stuff?
Quickly thrusts down onto it, clenching it with his butt, and then gradually slides the entire 87mm diameter of the glass jar
87 millimeters, yeah. Wait, just. Where's the stuff? Depression device. Depression device. Oh my god. No. Back. Back. The fuck. Ah. It's too many cable here. Finally. 87 millimeters is it's 87 millimeters, it's 8 and 7 centimeters. Okay, here we go. Wait, it's... Yeah, everything is okay. To your understanding, it's around... Oh my fucking god. It's around... You're kidding, man. It's... Oh my... Oh, wait a minute. You wanna tell me... It's more than my knuckle. It's more than my fucking knuckle. Oh my god, yeah, it's just like... Wow.
Jar up into his asshole. Like, he literally gets the whole fucking thing in there.
Yeah, but if he loves something like this, it's maybe it will be a little bit easier to just making this with the hands.
And then suddenly, disaster strikes. There's a crack. The jar broke inside of his ass. Blood pours out of him. There is so much blood. And he digs the glass out, piece by piece, not making a sound, and then he just walks out of the frame and that's the end. I'd love to show you a clip, but obviously I can't, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play some of the sounds for you, and you can just let your imagination fill in the blanks.
No. No. Even the kid is not helping.
This video quickly spreads all over the internet. The eFuck page is getting millions of views. You got sites like One Man, One Jar, and One Guy in One Cup rehosting it. It gets posted to Dig, it gets posted to Reddit, and people are posting reaction videos all over YouTube.
Big ass glass shard came out his anus.
Essentially, we were reliving the glory days of Two Girls, One Cup, but much more extreme. And we were left asking a lot of questions, too. Primarily, who was this man and what happened to him? It seems like, according to most people, he died. There's absolutely no source for that claim, and yet I've heard it so many times. Even when I mentioned to friends and I mentioned on stream that I was working on this video, a lot of people said, hey, didn't that guy die? So, if you go to the IMDb page for One Man Jar, and yes, it does have an
IMDb page on one guy, what? 7.3 out of 10. How? Just like how, man?
an IMDb page, and it has a 7.3 out of 10 stars rating. It identifies the man as Alexei Tatarov, not to be confused with MMA legend Oleg Taktarov, who came up a few times when I was searching for Alexei. These searches eventually led me to find an Imager album that supposedly belonged to him. Alex 1303-19...
I'm not gay, it's just funny. Haha! Haha! Funny dude! Ah, yeah! Yeah, just shoving the power of his ass, even broken the glass jar.
69 with the caption, "I'm not gay, just it's funny." This album contains images of him shoving various objects up his stretched anus and inflicting all kinds of penile torture.
Bruh, if you wanna just massage your prostate, it's to massage your prostate. What it's yeah, it's oh my god, this excuse, it's sus. Like, bruh, if you wanna do, just do, but just saying you doing this not for pleasure, just you doing this for fun, bruh.
Torture upon himself, such as very tightly constricting it with some kind of tape that
Probably yes.
almost made it look like the mushroom platforms from the first Mario Brothers game. And there are pictures of him inserting certain objects into it. Sounding is what they call it. Oh, and there actually was a picture of him wearing clothes in a suit, sitting cool like AC Slater. Although this very much seemed to be our guy, I mean, how many guys are there going around the internet just shoving big-ass jars up their asses?
Yeah. It's bruh, but we have already so good this kind of toys industry, and you, from all of these toys you choose the fucking jar, the glass jar.
I had a hard time finding any real proof that this was him other than other people's word of mouth. And pretty much every article or post I came across that claimed that this guy was him had people doubting it. So I did what I had to do. I spent hours digging through archives of this Imager album. And I spent those hours analyzing a Russian man's naked body and his apartment and his furniture. As far as I could tell, the penis seems to match. With the
Oh my god, this level of deduction. Just find the person by penis.
uncircumcised foreskin drooping down, looking like Ren's mouth from Ren and Stimpy. But I'm not confident enough in my dick spotting prowess to know for sure that this is the same guy. Nor was I confident enough in my ability to discern the feet.
Yeah. The most interesting. It's don't have a 18 plus. This video don't have a 18 plus. How? How YouTube work?
Peter the belly rolls. Really, the key was analyzing the man's surroundings. And there's a lot of different rooms we see this man in this album, as well as just wandering the streets of Russia naked. A lot of the rooms in these photos, such as the one with the red carpet, were different enough from the video that they could just be ruled out immediately. And then there was another floor that I saw that was kinda close. I thought it was it at first, but no, it is a little bit different. It's another room. And then finally, after I'm starting to think that I put myself through this ordeal for nothing, I find it. It's not a full image, just a thumbnail for another album that was unfortunately not archived. This means that we can't look at it in its glorious full resolution, but I think the thumbnail has enough clues. Look at the low green baseboard where the wall meets the floor, the cables on the ground, and the edge of what appears to be the same cabinet. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This
Wait. Wait, but if we will be finding these words. Ah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the most interesting, he have on the back side the store with the name of Vyshivanka. It's Ukrainian word. And Vyshivanka, it's traditional Ukrainian national shirt. Oh my god,
A lot of the
no.
rooms in these photos, such as the
No.
red carpet, were different enough from the video that they could just be ruled out immediately. And then there was another floor that I saw that was kinda close. I thought it was in at first, but no, it is a little bit different. It's another room. And then finally, after I'm starting to think that I put myself through this ordeal for nothing, I find it. It's not a full image, just a thumbnail for another album that was unfortunately not archived. This means that we can't look at it in its glorious full resolution, but I think the thumbnail has enough clues. Look at the low green baseboard where the wall meets the floor, the cables on the ground, and the edge of what appears
Yeah, you know, it's just starting because of one meme in Discord. Yeah. It's all starting this all watching of this video. It's all starting because you just posted meme in Discord.
to be the same cabinet. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This means he didn't die, and the man who claims to be the Jar Man is in fact the Jar Man. And in January of 2009, a month after his video started to
His YouTuber is us bleeding. Yeah,
spread all over the internet,
for real.
he started to do a little bit of a PR tour. He made contact with the owner of OneGuyInOneCup.com and sent some pictures that confirmed his identity. Of course, these pictures weren't archived, but they're claimed to contain the pertinent flooring, the plastic bags, and the outlet. Not gonna lie, I'm kinda curious what's in those plastic bags, considering they've been sitting there this whole time. He would also go on to make his presence known to a bunch of different online communities and grant some interviews, the most in-depth of which was known plastic
Wait.
bags, considering
It's just a couple of houses, letters.
they've been sitting there this whole time. He would also go on to make his presence known to a bunch of different online communities and grant some interviews, the most in-depth of which was given to bestgore.com. In the interview, and in the comments section that followed it, Alex answered basically all of the questions that anybody might have for him. At the time of the interview in 2009, he was a 40-year-old Russian man who worked as a manager in the Ukraine. Although
Why?
he didn't anticipate the video getting this kind of attention and he had no designs on being famous, he was ecstatic that it got as popular as it did. One of the big mysteries of the video is how he remained quiet through the whole thing. You know, a glass jar just exploded in his ass and he's bleeding all over. Like, you've never seen a guy bleed like this before. You'd expect at least a little... but nothing. A big rumor was that he broke the glass on purpose and he didn't make a sound because it was feeling kind of good to him. But he assured Best Gore that
Yeah.
this was a complete accident and it did not feel good. Usually what he would do is fill the jars up with water to keep them from breaking like this.
Yeah, because it's okay. It makes sense.
but this time he didn't
I don't know.
bother, and he paid the price. There was also a rumor that he was so quiet because his family was in the other room and he didn't want them to hear. In the comments section of the article, he explained that his wife and 2 sons weren't home.
A wife and 2 sons. Dude have a wife and 2 sons and put in the jar, glass jar in S.
He simply didn't make a sound because he didn't feel like it. In fact, he even went to work an hour later. That is the most Russian shit that I've ever heard in my life. But in any case, he's got a ton of blood pouring out of his glass-filled asshole. Now what? He said he felt like he was gonna pass.
Yeah, this is what Russian dudes making in Ukraine. Just exploding the glass jar by power of S. Like...
out for a bit.
sorry, but it's your fault. It's your fault. You post about this shit in Discord.
Didn't. And he attributed his resilience to his history of donating blood. What a stand-up guy. This means that if you've ever had a blood transfusion somewhere around the Ukraine, there's a chance that you're walking around carrying a little bit of the jar man with you. And he also took care of the situation entirely by himself. He didn't go to a doctor because he didn't want to explain what happened to a doctor. He just took out as much of the glass as he could, stuffed himself up with some cotton, and went on life as usual. And in about 2 weeks or so, he was all healed up. And now with all that
Wow.
being said, the burning question is, why? What would compel a man to take a glass jar and just stuff it up his ass? Alex explains, I decided to stretch my anus to the max many years ago. I wanted to be able to fist my own ass, which I eventually managed. The ability
Okay. What I'm talking about, yeah? Like... This jar is just with the size, the diameter of my knuckles. Why is he just don't make? Yeah, but he make it. Okay. You just don't be shamed because telling the doctor he put in the glass jar in S and like, yeah. Yeah, but it's not worth it. It's be better ashamed, but be alive.
The ability to stick your own fist up your rectum definitely offers a variety of sensations that you can't experience otherwise. I must admit that the beginning were rather tough, until your anal opening is stretched well enough, trying to
I love this music on the backgrounds. He just reading the most perfect stuff with a straight face and putting this kind of music on background.
force large objects through there induces vomiting. As you continue doing it, you eventually get used to it and don't throw up anymore. And it's pure pleasure. And it doesn't happen all at once. He explained that he started off with glass Coke bottles and worked his way up to that 87mm monster in the video. That jar was his crowning achievement. The interview ends with a brief discussion about how Alex, when he was younger,
Yeah, it's in this post he's saying if you put a lot of stuff up here, you you starting to throw up. But through sometimes you starting to be used of it and stop throwing up and start to feel the pleasure you cannot feel the different way.
Thought about having a career in porn, but living in the former Soviet Union, it wasn't a real possibility. Although now he was branching off into a few other sites. In particular, OwMyAss.com, which documented Alex cleaning up his bloody asshole the day after, and SexRazor.com, which documents Alex shoving
The more you know, yeah.
his Bic razor up his pee hole. Neither of these sites would reach the same acclaim as One Guy, One Jar.
BRB meaning. BRB. Bruh. Finally.
But it was never about the fame for Alex. It was about the art. And that being said, he also shared 2 videos with Bestgore that, at that time, had not been seen by anybody else on the internet. One labeled Finger 02 and another labeled Tool 02. Although I don't know what Finger 02 is, I have an idea about what Tool 02 might be. Let's go back to IMDb. You know how Alex was credited on the IMDb page for One Guy, One Jar? Well, you click on his name and he has another credit. One Guy, One Screwdriver.
No. Oh, One Man with Screwdriver is an interesting short movie showcasing the difficulty of fitting a screwdriver inside of huge genitalia. The movie has twists, turns, and surprising ending that leaves viewers ready for more. Like what the fuck? 7.4 rating of this.
Another video that you're very likely to be familiar with. And if you're not familiar with it at this point, you probably have an idea from the name what it entails. With multiple famous videos like that under his belt, I think it's safe to say that Alex is the undisputed king of internet shock videos. And in fact, he actually has so many more. You see, if you were to look him up on XTube, you would be greeted by an avatar of Alex recreating the famous goatsy pose. And on his page, there's a veritable smorgasbord of different objects of different sizes getting shoved up different orifices.
Bruh, I don't... Okay, it's existing already. Too many stuff with you can do the interesting stuff with yourself. And this will be how this... not dangerous. But from all of this, you choosing the screwdriver in a glass jar. Understandable. Have a good day.
And it's funny how things come full circle. One of Alex's new fans would come to him with a warning. Please be careful with glass in your ass. You've never seen a video of a jar breaking in a guy's ass? Watch at your own risk. It's my video, pal. Anyway, that's the story of One Guy, One Cup. If you like this video, you'll probably also like my video about the Goatsy Man. I'm out of here.
Okay. It was good.